Greetings, Salam Sejahtera. Our presentation today is Bainun's Picasso, Fun Pedagogy for Moral Education. The ultimate aim of education is to produce virtuous human beings who are humane. Education is not only intended to fill the minds of students with knowledge, but also to cultivate noble morals or akhlaq yang murni, as stated by Imam Al-Ghazali. If let's say education is only about knowledge, we can nowadays search online for any types of knowledge, regarding any matters or any subject. But of course, education is slightly different. Noble values are the cornerstones of the future aspiration and determinants of a country, any nation across the world. Malaysia upholds noble values in its aspiration. The fundamentals of the transformation implemented give weightage and emphasis on the cultivation of noble values. Values-based education are given emphasis and stress. You can see that in the National Education Philosophy, in the Education Act, and also Malaysia Education Blueprint, which hope to help the development of the country by developing values-driven Malaysian, meaning to say, to produce students with admirable personality and high morals or morality. In the Malaysian context, cultivation of values is implemented directly in the subjects of moral education and Islamic education, indirectly through the noble value element across the curriculum, or EMK, element Merenta's curriculum. Moral education itself has its own specific goals, which hope to contribute to the unity and well-being of our nation and also the global community. As for EMK, noble value, it is to emphasize that value is being practiced in the student's daily life. Alright, noble values are emphasized. Teachers are requested to plan and to implement at least one value across all subjects in all their subjects in their daily lesson plans. This is to hope that students will be interested in implementing, practicing the noble values being taught. Problems? Therefore, there shouldn't be any problems, right? After all, for moral education specifically, it is more than 11 years of learning values. Unfortunately, it has high positions in the aspect of government aspiration and policy. However, the execution, especially of noble values, especially in the classroom, is questionable. This can be disputed because of negative comment and perceptions of students themselves, the societies, and educators themselves. This demonstrates a combination, a mismatch, as what is stipulated in documents and the reality, what is going on. The gap, there's a gap and there's a divide between what is stipulated in documents and what is the results or the reality in the classroom. In a 2019 study, Teaching and Learning of Values in the Classroom, Adolescent Perspective, it is found that one of the problems faced are the teacher's pedagogy. The data analyzed from more than 100 participants, it is found that the main issues are such as boredom and the techniques used in the classroom. These are some of the findings from that study. Boring, always, just asked to memorize, not fun, very bored. Teacher wrote value on the board, explain a little bit, yes, always. Teacher use textbook, just teach, focus, to score only. In 2018, a survey was carried out. Out of the 1 participants, it is found that similar findings. A survey regarding the teaching and learning of moral education in the classroom. Dr. Vishalachi Balakrishnan found that when she asked the students what they have learned 11 years, what they have learned about moral education, what they remember of moral education from 11 years in school. And the answer was copying notes and memorizing values and keywords for those values. Therefore, this negative implication on the implementation of values, specifically of moral education, is the pedagogy of teachers. Therefore, we would like to introduce a play-based method in inculcating values. Our participants were 18-year-old pre-service teachers of a value inculcation program. We feel that even though they are 18 years old pre-service teachers, but this method can be used in the classroom, especially now where social distancing is a norm in the classroom. Methodology. Briefing was given to the students, what they have to the students or the participant of what they have to do during the game. So first of all, the participants were divided into groups, and from each group they have to sit in the space provided for them, and the first participant will draw the slip of papers where on the slip of papers values was written, and then 1 minute was given to the first participant to draw out what he or she feels represent that value. The rest of the participants needs to turn their body so that they do not see what is being drawn and then shown to the second participants. So this step were repeated until the last participants. And the last participant will voice out what is the value being shown. No words or no words can be written, and they cannot voice out what was the value that they see. The materials needed are use recycled paper or reused paper and marker pen. This help in implementing or inculcating cooperation, but at the same time, other values can also be implemented. Findings: it is definitely fun in learning values and can be implemented in the classroom because there is no cost involved, no cost, no expense, and it's not difficult or complicated. No complicated skills are needed. What you need is just marker pen and reuse paper, and of course a good set of instructions and slips of paper with values written on it. These are some of the samples or the results of that game. Can you guess this value? It is responsibility. How about this? Can you guess? This is kesederhanaan. It's actually a difficult value to be taught in the classroom. How about the next one? What do you think is the value? It's being kind. And the last one is hema tinggi or prudence. Right? Out of the 4 samples that we show you, only this was wrongly guessed. The other 3 were correct, meaning to say more than 50% of them were able to guess correctly the value that was being implemented or drawn. All right, so the quality of this country's teachers, especially in inculcating values, especially as moral educators, is very important. Teachers should emphasize cultivation of values and ensure a parallel between pedagogy and knowledge delivered to students. The passion and effectiveness of teachers have a lasting impact on their students. A study in 2016 found that perceptions towards moral education is influenced by the effectiveness and determination of teachers who have been teaching the respondents during the school year. So, to be truly effective, teachers should be able to relate what is learned in the classroom with the students' daily life by implementing various strategies and approaches, and of course, take into consideration theories such as multiple intelligence. Professor Ji and Xiang from the Chao University actually emphasized that the success or failure of moral education depends on the teacher who teaches those subjects. Therefore, serious attention needs to be should be given to the implementation of value being cultivated to produce a virtuous and holistic generation as aspired by the national education philosophy of Malaysia. Thank you. We welcome any questions or feedback, and please feel free to email any one of us.